What's up, guys? This is Crypto with James talking to you today about Chia Network. Now, Chia Network have some very, very strong partnerships with organizations I'm not a particular fan of, but who have a very, very wide reach. And I really want to take a look at what Chia Network is doing in terms of trying to be, what's the phrase, compliant with as many of the most powerful organizations as possible. And you can decide, as well as me, if we think that's going to put them in good stead to have success in the future. Before I get into that, I'm going to update the spreadsheet. Now, these are the first 26 coins that I spoke about in the channel. The prices of recording versus the current prices. If you had invested $100 into each of them when I released videos and you were still holding them, you're in profit for around 9.8k from a $2,600 investment. If, however, you'd have sold those coins during the previous cycle when everything was riding high, you'd have been in profit for 123k. It's the difference between cashing out in a bull cycle and riding the bear market down. Now, if you want to see the coins that I'm buying up right now in this bear cycle, the ones I think are going to have the significant gains in the future, the ones I think can, do the 20x's, the 40, the 50, the 100. Like I said with Phantom, I did a whole Udemy course for $20 where I said this was going to be one of the best investments of the year, and it did a 677x. Then you can come check out Copy My Crypto. It's where I share every coin I buy and every coin I sell, how I'm seeing the markets, and the coins I think are going to be the big winners. Go to the site. If it resonates with you, I look forward to seeing you there. Let's get into it. So Chia. Chia has a market cap of 180 million, roughly. So there's only about a fifth of the overall total supply out, but the distribution is going to be pretty much similar. So 64 Chia will be created every 10 minutes for the first 3 years after launch. 32 will be created every 10 minutes in years 4 through to 6. 16 every 10 minutes, and so on and so on and so on. So there were a ton pre-farmed to help fund the creation and administration of Chia. That, to me, is a concern, because it does mean that the team are holding a shit ton, and that's worth bearing in mind. We'll open up Space Scan so you can see what's going on with Chia. So they've got a few block explorers. So current price, as you can see, $36. Excuse me. So currently for 4,957,936. So a little more than what is said here, but pretty accurate from Coinmarketcap, to be fair. So, excuse me, sorry. So, Chia is, first of all, created by the man that created BitTorrent, the proper sharing platform, BitTorrent. He's done that in and of itself. There's some semblance of confidence there in the sense of this guy is a massive innovator, because BitTorrent's been a huge thing over the years. Chia has also been bought up by massive VCs like Andreessen Horowitz, Slow Ventures, Naval Ravikant, and Galaxy Digital. So Chia is a layer 1. They have their own language, which takes a decent amount of the stuff from Ethereum programming language, and to be fair, some of the others out there, but so it's not hugely different. So programmers can jump on and join. They're layer 1, and they use the consensus mechanism of proof of space and time. Now, proof of space and time works differently to anything else that's really out there. So proof of space requires miners to keep unused storage on their hard disks or hard drives. Miners install special software that allocates that free space, which is then used to solve a challenge, kind of like proof of work, the problem-solving element of proof of work. And the software stores a collection of cryptographic numbers on the miner's disks. When the block is created, then the miner's disks can be the miner's numbers can be scanned to see if their number is close to the challenge number that was acquired when the block creation occurred. And on the other hand, proof of time is demonstrating the passage of time through verifiable delay functions. So it's sort of like how Solana runs, and the Time Lords ensure that time is correctly documented for solving the proof of space functions. Time Lords are just the nodes that document time. As I said, the programming language very similar. Take a lot of the components from Ethereum, Solidity, and Bitcoin Core. So that allows them to be more, while keeping the Bitcoin's UTXO model. So they can actually keep and remain fairly energy efficient in the way that they've done things. Obviously, because of the allocation of disk space is less energy intensive than unused disk space. It's less energy intensive than anything that's proof of work. And look, as I said, they've got big backers. But more interestingly is who they are working in tandem with. So they're working with World Bank affiliate IFC. So IFC, the International Finance Corporation, are a World Bank Group member that are focused on investment in less developed countries. They're teaming with Chia Network on the Carbon Opportunities Fund. The fund will provide blockchain-based carbon credits purchased from projects chosen by the two companies. So carbon offsets are a means for companies to compensate their emissions by purchasing credits that fund projects in tree planting or renewables. The new framework that will use new blockchain tech is an innovative way for capital markets to engage in carbon credit, and as a result, should be better received by the world. Blockchain tech would appear to be a natural medium for carbon offset related projects due to the transparency that they offer with the blockchain themselves. And this is kind of a big partnership. This was only announced this past month. Now, I point this out because Chia are partnering with one of the World Bank Group members, as well as, to some degree, World Economic Forum. They were at Davos this past year. And that's worth paying attention to. Because fundamentally, these entities, or whatever you want to call them, run everything. And the success that they want for something to have is not quite preordained, but it's more probable because of the influence and the control that they have. So Chia, partnering with the IFC, going to Davos, indicates that they've got very, very powerful partners behind the scenes. And they're going very, very hard at presenting well. So, supporting the Paris Agreement. Little things like that, enhancing carbon markets. They are very much trying to be at the forefront of the changes that are, or the at the forefront of what the most powerful influencers in the world, which are these entities, are pushing for. And they're trying to show, or they are showing, that they are reflective of the same mission that those lot are on. What that does probably gives them a greater potential for success. They've also even highlighted that they believe that they are going to be regulated as commodity because they've never been sold by the China, like their tokens have never been sold by the China network for money. And as a result, they believe that they are a commodity. So they are preparing for the impending regulation as well. And the market cap's 118 million right now. There was a point where this coin hit $1,600. Now, that is a long way away from where it was. It did launch at literally the peak of the cycle, or the first peak of the previous bull cycle. Rallied back up in the back end of the sort of year, but has literally only been on a downward trajectory. So, is it going to be successful? In terms of chart, this is reminiscent of XCH. XCH was a god awful looking chart, and it's never really hit its heights. And maybe China will never hit. In fact, let's get XCH up. XCH is $60 right now. There you go, 1,600 as well. Fucking hell, how weird. Although I do know that XCH was at like $5,000 at one point or something like that. But did have a peak in 2018. But has been on a downward trajectory as well. Did have its rallies. But when you look at the sort of lows that it hit in terms of price point, $28. Maybe it dropped to about 25 at one point, possibly. But yeah, there you go, $25. So it actually did end up doing a 12x in this previous cycle. XCH is about anonymity, however. Certainly doesn't seem to have the influence that Chia shares, or Chia seems to have. I'm not sure in terms of a project. Look, the ecosystem is underwhelming, shite. But in terms of long-term success, it depends on if the powers that be push them, but they may well. And this is an interesting one because it could do something, but it has to grow as a project, because it really hasn't since it's launched. They are going to be a publicly traded company, so there's a variable there as well. With the wide-reaching partnerships, I do believe Chia is going to end up having some success. Maybe it's not going to be the biggest gainer or anything like that, but they've got a strong leader who's created something that was very special in BitTorrent. They seem to have a plan. They've certainly got cooperation with the big hitters of the world. I'm not sure. I'm genuinely not sure. Because all I can go off of is who they're partnered with, who their initial investors are, who their leader is. The consensus mechanism is unique. That's nice. But there's not much else. Like, the ecosystem's non-existent, really. So, but there's something here. And I'm not sure. I'm genuinely not sure. But my gut instinct is this is going to have a hell of a run in the future because of who they're teamed up with. But beyond the tech, and everything signals that except two things. The chart sucks and reminds me so much of Zcash, though Zcash still did a 12x on the previous site from bear to bull in the previous cycle. And the ecosystem is stupidly weak. There's not much else beyond the carbon offsetting but those partnerships are so bloody strong. It feels like they're preordained for success. Not sure. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'm genuinely posing the question. What do you think? Do you think it's destined for success given the people that they're teamed with? Yeah, let me know in the comments down below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification so you know when new content's coming out. And I hope you like the question that I've posed there, or at least are interested in the question that I've posed there. And if you want to see the coins I'm buying up in the bear cycle, the ones I think are going to have the strong run in the bull cycle, the 20, the 40, the 50, the 100x gains, and come check out Copy My Cryptos, where I share every coin I own. Obviously, I'm buying up in the bear cycle. I've built positions. I'm looking to add to those positions as well as add in some brand new cryptos into my portfolio over the course of this bear cycle. So if you want to know what they are, go to the site. And if it resonates with you guys, I look forward to seeing you there. Take it easy. Bye-bye.